Yuru was a hunter in a remote village who loved his sister deeply. However, one day, a powerful woman claiming to be his real sister destroys his village and kills everyone. Yuru escapes the village with the help of a merchant and summons two powerful spirits to help him, changing his life forever. In a faraway village, a woman has just given birth to a child as the dawn approaches. The old midwife finds that the delivery is not over because the woman has another baby in her womb. Matter of fact, the crazy old woman was counting on it. She tells the woman to endure the labor pains and wait a bit more because she cannot give birth before morning. Her assistant tells the old woman that this is impossible. But she becomes Nike's ambassador and says, "Just do it," because she wants the twins to become the ones who rule the world. In a few minutes, morning arrives and the second child is born. As the house is filled with the cries of two newborn babies, their father is shell-shocked. He looks at his children, one of whom has golden hair like the day, while the other has black hair like the night. He sweats hard and facepalms, realizing that the ancient prophecy has come true, and the children who tear day and night apart have been born. 16 years later, the boy Yuru has become a fine hunter and an excellent archer. He goes out alone in the forest and hunts an unsuspecting bird from a distance before looking up in the sky to see the smoke trails left by the airplanes, which are called dragon's farts in their language for some reason. Yuru soon returns back to the village, and his friend Danji is at the gate for him. He throws a tantrum as soon as he sees Yuru and asks how dare he go out hunting all alone again. Danji says that Yuru should have taken him along in case any accident happened in the forest because there would be no one to help him there. Yuru tells him to chill because their two guardians will protect him. Danji suddenly sees the bird hanging from the saddle and forgets everything he was talking about earlier because he is more interested in the meat. As they enter the village, everyone greets Yuru, from the busy farmers to the idle kids. He greets them back and then goes to the house of the crazy Granny Yamaha, who helped deliver him. Danji's mom is also there, chopping firewood, and he tries hiding behind the horse to avoid her. But she starts yelling at him to be more like his best friend, which is exactly what my mom does. Meanwhile, Yuru goes to Yamaha and asks if his sister Asa is doing well. She affirms, telling him that Asa is doing her duty perfectly well. Yuru goes inside a rundown and dimly lit building to meet his sister Asa, who has been trapped inside a cage. Asa's face brightens as soon as she sees her brother, and Yuru starts telling her about the pheasant that he caught earlier. Asa starts hyping him up, but Yuru says that he wanted to catch a deer or a boar because they are not getting any rainfall this year, and at this rate, there won't be enough food to feed everyone. Asa gets scared on hearing this and asks Yuru if he will go to the outside world in search of work if there isn't enough food, and he immediately yells at her that he is going nowhere. He reminds her that he worked hard to become a skilled hunter so that the village would become totally dependent on him, and then no one would agree to him going outside. He tells Asa that he is going to stay in the village and protect her forever, and this cheers her up. Just then, Danji's mother comes there and tells Yuru that the merchant Dara is here, and he immediately goes to see him. Dara is already trading with the villagers, telling them that the economy outside is doing pretty bad ever since Hormuz closed, and on top of that, COVID has returned in the outside world, so they need medicinal herbs more than anything. The villagers are more than happy to trade with Dara in herbs, and he has some medicines for the old folks too. Yuru soon comes there, and Dara greets him, asking if he wants anything. Yuru nervously replies that he doesn't need anything, but Dara tosses him a decorated ball because he knew Yuru would ask for a gift for Asa next. Once Dara leaves, Yuru and Danji help the farmers dry their crops, and Danji remarks that he wants to grow up and go outside the village to work. He says that the people who leave rarely return home, so the outside world must be a good place. But Yuru doesn't think like him. He wants to live his entire life in the village, and Danji says that if he is so attached to Asa, he should just take her with him. Yuru yells at him that Asa has an important duty to do in the village, so she can't leave. Danji is pissed on hearing this because he has heard the same thing his entire life. He says that he has never seen Asa, and she might as well be imaginary at this point. Yuru replies that only very special people can meet his sister, and peasants like Danji don't make the cut. Danji is ready to throw hands on this insult, when suddenly, both boys hear the sounds of airplanes approaching their village. The sounds get closer and closer, perplexing them, and then suddenly, someone uses a strange power to blow away the forest cover hiding their village from the outside world. The very next moment, helicopters approach the village, and everyone is shocked because they never expected anything like this. The children are excited to see the helicopters and airplanes, but the adults are horrified because they used to think that the flying things were dragons and not hunks of metal. Suddenly, soldiers ambush them from behind and start killing them mercilessly. And even Dara, who turned around to watch what was going on, gets attacked from behind. The villagers rush to Granny Yamaha to ask what is going on, and she replies that someone has broken the barrier around their village. She is sure that they are after Yuru and tells the villagers to bring him to her immediately. Meanwhile, Yuru is already heading towards her after finding the dead bodies of villagers spread everywhere. Danji is freaking out as anyone would do on seeing corpses, but Yuru calmly checks their necks for pulse and then rushes towards the village. He spots two soldiers standing on top of the stairs, and before they can aim their guns at him, he takes one of them down with his bow and arrow. He takes down the second one too, barely in time, causing him to miss his aim at Danji by a little. Both of them are shocked by the strange weapon that fires destructive projectiles, but Yuru says they have no time to worry about it. They knock out the soldiers and then head towards the temple because Danji's mother and Yuru's sister are both there. Yuru stops Danji at the village gate and begins removing the stones at the base of a guardian statue to reveal a secret passage to the temple. Danji is shocked to see it, but Yuru is not taking any questions right now because he wants to reach Asa as soon as possible. At the same time, the helicopters drop a blonde brat named Gabby on the ground, and she uses a strange power to bite and tear through her targets from a distance. The villagers have no idea what is even happening, and they try to run away, but nothing is too far away for Gabby, who kills every adult on sight but spares a girl, telling her that she doesn't bite children. Once she is done eliminating all the adults in her area, she picks her cell phone to tell the ground forces to come in, but to her surprise, no one answers her call. Turns out, Dara is something of a special forces agent himself, and he has already taken out all the soldiers that ambushed him already. He wipes the blood off his knife and immediately pulls out his cell to call his partner Hana and tell her that the barrier around the village has been broken. However, he can't contact her and realizes that things are really serious and they are dealing with the most dangerous enemy possible. At the same time, in the temple, a woman with an eye patch drags the unconscious body of Granny Yamaha with her when she comes across Asa in her cage. She is really pissed to see this and uses her power to shatter the cage as well as Asa's head in one destructive blow. Just 1 second later, Yuru comes running there, and he is devastated to see his sister lying in a puddle of blood. He calls out her name, and instead of her, the woman responds, telling Yuru that his real sister is here to pick her up. She declares that she will kill everyone except Yuru, and he panics, wondering who this crazy woman is. He is furious at her for claiming to be his sister after killing Asa and tries to shoot her. However, the woman reacts quickly and unleashes her power to take him down, blowing a hole in the temple in the process. At the same time, Dara moves through the village, taking down the soldiers with pinpoint accuracy while keeping an eye on the helicopters surrounding the village. He soon reaches Gabby and sees that her power to bite enemies from a distance is actually a creepy ghost that is just a huge jaw with many eyes. He is not really surprised to see it and takes aim at it. But Gabby is impressed that the man can see her summon spirit. She attacks him with the jaw spirit, but Dara dodges her attack and fires back. The jaw spirit defends its master against the bullets, so Dara changes his strategy and chucks a grenade at Gabby. Back in the temple, Yuru is still conscious, and the woman apologizes because she just wanted to break his arrow, but ended up hurting him. As he tries to get up, the ball that he bought for Asa falls from his clothes and bounces towards her, landing in the puddle of blood. Luckily, it bounces off Yamaha's foot, bringing her back to her senses, and she uses her powers to summon a creepy creature out of Asa's blood to tie the woman's hand. She yells at Dara to take Yuru away and hide in the real world. And the very next moment, Dara is there to fulfill her request. He grabs Yuru and runs away while Yamaha tells him never to let these people find the boy. At the same time, Danji is tending to her injured mother when he sees Yuru being carried away like a bag of potatoes by the merchant. Dara leads him through the secret passage and tells him that they will climb down the mountains. But Yuru's entire world has been shattered, and he doesn't know what to do right now. Dara replies that he will explain everything once they are safe, but just as he tries to drag him away, the soldiers riding the helicopters fire at them. Dara realizes that they can't escape like this, but he fears the woman claiming to be Asa more than the helicopters. Suddenly, Yuru starts mumbling that the woman killed Asa and everyone else, and she even injured Yamaha. He asks why she did all that when they never did anything bad to her. But Dara tells him that there are more important things right now. He takes out his pendant and tells Yuru to put it in the hole between the two guardian statues. Yuru yells that it doesn't make any sense, but Dara tells him to do it right now. Yuru has no choice but to listen to him, but when he reaches the hole, he finds garbage has been deposited inside it. Dara tells him to clean it, fully aware that the snipers have a clear aim at Yuru, but he also knows that they need to capture him alive. Yuru starts rubbing the garbage to clean it up and then places the pendant inside it. Just as he does that, Dara rushes forward and slams his head on the ground. Yuru shouts at him, asking what the hell that was for, but a few drops of his blood fall on the jade pendant, and it starts glowing. The sniper takes aim at Dara to get him out of the equation when, suddenly, the two guardian statues start glowing brightly, blinding everyone. The very next moment, the helicopters lose their balance as they are attacked by two powerful feral spirits. Yuru watches in awe and fear as the spirits bring the helicopters down, throwing them on top of him. But luckily, Dara saves him from the falling rubble. As the dust fills the air, Yuru hears two voices. The male voice says that their master this time is a kid, but he looks like he will be easy to get along with. The female voice replies that no matter how old their master is, they are bound to obey his commands. As the dust and smoke settle, he sees two giant people in front of him, and Dara tells him that in this world, supernatural entities occur. People call them ghosts, spirits, monsters, and many other things, but their true name is demons, and the pair standing in front of him are his demons. Yuru remembers the past when his father first took him to the secret passageway beneath the guardian statues. He told him that this passage was made long ago by their ruler, when this village used to be a fortress. It connected the two guardian statues to the temple, and Yuru's dad told him to use this path only when it was really necessary. At the end of the path, he told him that their two guardian deities, named Left and Right, are always watching over them, and in the present, they tell him the same thing. The red-haired ogre is Right, who tells Yuru that they have always been watching over him, and the white-haired ogre Left tells him that from today, he is their master. Yuru is dumbfounded on hearing this, and he wonders if Dara banged his head too hard to make him see things. Right starts ruffling Yuru's hair, saying that the crybaby is their new master, but Left tells him to mind his manners because even though Yuru might be a kid who grew up in front of them, he is their master. Dara greets them too, and the two demons recognize him as a demon retainer. Right says that they saw the metal birds bothering them, so they took them down. Dara thanks them and says that they need to climb down the mountain immediately because some dangerous people are after them, but Right replies that he is not their master, so he cannot tell them what to do. Left says they will only obey Yuru's orders, and Dara explains that their master is an idiot who doesn't even know what is going on. Just then, Gabby arrives there and starts talking about how strong the two demons look. Dara is shocked to see her still alive even though he threw a frag at her, but she tells him not to underestimate the power of her demons. She takes one look at Yuru and realizes that he must be the one they are looking for. She says that if he is Asa's brother, he should come with her, and Yuru gets furious on recalling what the self-proclaimed Asa did to her sister and the villagers. He furiously asks Gabby if she killed the villagers, and she proudly affirms. Well, Right and Left can sense his rage, and they want to get some action after being trapped in stones for centuries. They tell Yuru that they will beat up whoever he orders them to, but Yuru replies that they are the guardian gods of the village, so he can't give them orders. The two demons are surprised on hearing that, but then Yuru says that he can only make requests of them. His first request is to find the survivors in the village and take them to a safe place, while his second request is to not touch Gabby at all because she is his target. He pulls out an arrow from his quiver and loads it, and Gabby starts freaking out more than she did when a grenade was tossed at her. Yuru tells his demons that apart from that, they can do whatever they want. At the same time, Yamaha is still trying to hold the self-proclaimed Asa back, but she slams her against the wall and curses her, swearing that they will never forget the old woman for what she did. She runs out with that, and on the way, she finds Danji and his mother, but she has already achieved her goal, so she doesn't bother killing them. Meanwhile, Right gets excited on hearing that Yuru has given them a free rein, and he dashes straight ahead towards the village. Gabby tries to bite him with her jaw demons, but Right is faster, and he passes through the jaws instantly, before warning the girl that his partner is the fiercer one out of them. The very next moment, Mommy Left kicks the jaw demon with her full strength, slamming it against a rock wall, and Yuru uses this chance to shoot an arrow through Gabby's leg. He loads another arrow, but Gabby reacts quickly, summoning the jaw demon to carry her away to safety. Yuru decides to follow her with Left, and at the same time, Right wakes up the girl lying unconscious in the middle of the massacre. She is confused when she feels something touching her, and Right recalls that ordinary people can't see him. He makes himself visible to the girl and smiles as best as he can, telling her that he is here to save her. However, the girl faints on seeing him, and that hunts Right's sensitive heart. Anyway, he rescues all the survivors nearby and all of them are kids. He realizes that the attackers didn't show any mercy to the adults, but they didn't harm any kids, which confuses him about their ruthlessness. He gets out of the cottage and sees the eye patch Asa running down. He is surprised when she stops on seeing him, but she immediately gets on even ground with him and unleashes her power towards him. Right is taken aback by that, but he reacts in time, letting out a powerful roar that blows away Asa's attack back at her. She survives the attack, and as Right is yapping like a boomer about how kids these days don't have manners, Asa runs away. Right is disappointed in her once again, but then he sniffs something peculiar about her. At the same time, Gabby is in a pinch, even though she is hiding inside a house and using her demons to block the gate. She feels unsafe because Left's brute strength is enough to rip open the mouth of her demons. The muscle mommy slides her fingers inside the mouth and forces the jaws wide open, giving Yuru the chance to shoot another arrow at Gabby's shoulders. Luckily, Asa arrives there just then, and she uses her power to bring down the building where Gabby is trapped. Yuru climbs on top of the rubble and aims at the girls again, asking the eye patch Asa to reveal her true identity. She swears on her mama and his mama that she is his real sister, but Yuru refuses to believe her. He says that Asa can't be taller than him because she is a girl, and she replies that the outside world has better nutrition which helped her grow so big. Yuru thinks that is just an excuse, but just then, Right arrives there and tells him that he should not fight with his family. He can affirm that Asa's blood smells exactly like Yuru's, which means they are siblings. Yuru freaks out on hearing that and asks who is the Asa that was in the temple for all these years. The real Asa replies that the girl is a fake created by Granny Yamaha to keep him here. She reveals that 10 years ago, their parents took her and ran from the village 10 years ago, and Yamaha was afraid that Yuru would also run away. So they created a fake Asa and hoped that Yuru would stay here being the kind and caring older brother that he is. At the same time, the fake Asa miraculously recovers from her injuries and becomes something inhuman and menacing. Back at the village entrance, Yuru starts hesitating after hearing the real Asa's story when Dara intervenes. He asks Asa why doesn't she back off now because she has met her brother. Yuru is furious at him, but Dara reminds him that if he keeps fighting Asada, the village will suffer a lot of damage and the survivors might lose their lives. Yuru can't let that happen, so he decides to accept Dara's suggestion. He tells Asa that he will allow her to leave with Gabby if she promises not to hurt any villagers, and she quickly takes the deal. Yuru and his friends run away immediately while Gabby lashes at Asa, telling her that they can't fail their objective to capture her brother. Asa replies that they have found that Yuru is safe, which is enough for now. On top of that, she wants to treat Gabby's injuries first. Gabby replies that her brother is really merciless and skilled and Asa is proud of him. She suddenly starts crying that her brother is alive and Gabby consoles her when suddenly, the barrier around the village starts being repaired by Yamaha's powers. At the same time, two trekkers are sitting outside the village boundary, talking about how there are rumors about a secret village in this mountain. They want to find the village that only the lost people can find when suddenly Yuru and Dara run past them, and they are surprised to see them wearing clothes from the 1600s. Meanwhile, Dara tells Yuru that they can't see the village again because it is hidden inside the barrier once again. Yuru asks if they can't go back there and Dara says that they can go back, but it is not wise to do so because Asa already knows about it, and she can easily break the barrier. He says that they will go to the modern world instead and blend amongst the crowd, but Yuru doesn't know what is this place called the modern world. They run down the mountain and soon reach a road, where Dara's partner Hana is waiting for him. She is furious because he never told her that he was bringing a couple of demons with him. The two demons are impressed that Hana can see them, but Yuru is curious and confused about the big blue box in which she keeps their stuff. Even the demons have the same question, and they don't listen to a thing anyone is saying that isn't related to the car. Hana greets Yuru and says that she works with Dara, and they will take him to a safe place. They tell him to get inside the car, and he starts sweating because he doesn't trust this weird thing. Dara tries explaining to him how science allowed humans to create vehicles made of metal that humans can drive. Yuru's face says that he doesn't understand Jack, so Hana gets inside the car, turns it on and says that there are tiny horses inside this bad boy and they go really fast. Yuru and his demons totally understand and believe that explanation, and they head to civilization. At the same time, Asa and Gabby are out of the barrier and waiting for rescue. Soon, a guy named Jin comes there with his medical team. He asks Gabby if she is fine, and she replies that she just got shot in the shoulder and leg, which isn't a big deal because she is used to pain. Asa and Jin judge her for trying to aura farm while she is injured. Jin asks if they met Yuru, and Asa affirms. The medical team is surprised that none of their patrol units found him and wish they had more choppers to help them. That gives Jin a migraine because they lost a lot of soldiers and 2 choppers today, and his boss won't be happy. Gabby says that Yuru escaped with a middle-aged guy named Dara, and hearing that name infuriates Jin because they are from rival families. He curses his luck for choosing a day when a member of the Tatara family was in the village and wishes that he was here to deal with him personally. At the same time, Dara explains everything to Hana, who thinks they are dealing with really powerful people if they brought an army with them. Dara believes that they are from the Kagemori family because they are the only people capable of that, and they surely know his name and face by now. He decides to change his appearance and identity and move to a new place. Just then, the 2 guardians sense something, and they knock on the car window to let Dara know that demons are following them. Dara and Hana panic, thinking that the enemy has already found them, but the guardians tell them to chill because the demons approaching them are friends. Soon, a woman dressed in white and riding an ethereal white horse catches up to them. She greets the 2 guardians with a smile, saying that it has been 400 years since they last met. The guardians greet her and introduce Yuru as their new master. The woman is happy to see him, but when she hears that Yuru is one of the children who divide the day and night, she grows concerned for his future. She asks the guardians what they will do now, and Wright replies that they are planning to hide in a distant village. The woman flies away with that, wishing them luck and saying that she will be waiting to hear their stories when they return. While all of this happened, Dara and Hana had their jaws touching the floor out of shock because the woman and her horse were not an ordinary pair. Yuru asks them what were those things, and both of them yell at him to show some respect. They say that the pair of demons is Ashura-sama, a legit god who is on a different scale compared to normal demons. Dara and Hana start praying and thanking their luck that they got to see God while they are still alive, but the guardians are not happy to hear how humans discriminate against different types of demons. Hana then tells Yuru that there are different types of demons, ranging from gods to minor spirits, and they have different effects on their masters. By night, they reach a city and Yuru's eyes widen in shock as he sees so many tiny lights from a distance. Hana stops the car at a rest area and buys some fresh clothes for Yuru so that he doesn't look like a runaway theater actor. Yuru is surprised to see a t-shirt for the first time in his life, and then Dara arrives there with some sandals for him. Yuru is surprised to see his new look, but then his attention goes to the food items that Hana has brought along. He is shocked to see 100% pure rice without any millets added as fillers. And on top of that, the rice balls have seaweed coating, which is a luxury item in his village. He freaks out, asking Hana if she is a princess or something to afford this, and Dara tells him that these things are really common here. Yuru doesn't even know how to open the packaged rice balls, so Hana helps him in tearing the plastic packaging. Yuru is overwhelmed by the taste of the packaged rice balls, and Dara tells him to try other things as well. Wright asks him what is this place, and Dara replies that it is a place where cars stop so people can eat and rest and go shopping. Both the guardians are excited to hear this, and Dara asks if they would like to check it out. They refuse because they want to watch over their master, and Dara takes this chance to have dinner with Hana. Once inside a restaurant, Hana asks Dara how much does Yuru know. Dara replies that when he told Yuru that the girl trapped in the temple was not his sister, he snapped, so he didn't risk telling him more. He asks Hana not to reveal anything unnecessary right now because Yuru is a kid who can't handle the stress. She replies that she can't understand how he thinks because she doesn't like kids. She asks Dara if he is going to take Yuru to his place, but he refuses, saying that their enemies already know his name by now. He is going to change his address. Hana replies that it must be hard being homeless and looking after someone else's kid, but Dara tells her that she is going to help him too. She reluctantly agrees to do what she can, and then out of nowhere, Dara tells her that she should marry him. Hana pulls out her self-defense knuckles to beat some sense into Dara for even suggesting this, and everyone is curious to see a proposal going wrong. Meanwhile, Dara tries to calm down Hana because they are not going to get married for real, and it will just be a fake marriage to make sure that Yuru is safe. He says that they need to blend in with society, and the best way to do that is by pretending to be a married couple. Hana tells him they don't need to be married for that because she can just pretend to be Yuru's elder sister and Dara can be their single father. Dara explains that this can lead to 2 situations. In the first situation, he would be a loser whose wife dumped him and left her 2 kids behind. Everyone would think that something must be wrong with him, which is why his wife left him. The second situation would be where he would say that his wife is dead and he is raising kids on his own, which would make everyone pity him, and they would try to help him whenever they get the chance. Dara tells Hana that either way, living as a single father with 2 grown-up children would attract some undue attention from their neighbors. However, if he says that Yuru is his son from his first wife and he married a young baddie later, people would think that he is a cool playboy and leave him alone. He thanks Hana for understanding the situation and agreeing to his proposal, and she yells at him that she will never marry him. Meanwhile, right and left are examining the car outside to see where do they keep the tiny horses that pull it. They can't find anything, and then Yuru comes there to apologize to them because he ate all the food and didn't leave anything for them. Right is really happy that his new master is so kind, but Left tells him not to worry about them because demons don't eat human food. He then immediately gets to the point and asks them to tell him everything they know about him and his sister. Both the demons get serious on hearing this question, and Right says that they sat at the entrance of the Higashi village for 400 years, so they only saw the people who came and went. They don't know much about what happened inside the village, but they saw Yuru's parents taking him out of the village many times. Right reminds Yuru how his father used to take him hunting when he was young, and he clearly remembers those core memories that he made with his dad. Left then says that they never saw his twin sister and didn't even hear anything about her except the news that she was born. At first, they thought that she might have died, but then 10 years ago, they saw Yuru's parents run away from the village with a girl whose blood smelled exactly like Yuru. Yuru is shocked to hear this because he used to believe that his parents left both him and Issei behind, but they had only left him. He wants to ask his parents why did they leave him, and for that, he decides to find the real Issei because she will know where their parents are. Just then, Dara and Hana return and Yuru is shocked to see Hana literally fuming with rage and biting her lips as she tells Yuru that from now onwards, they are going to be his legal guardians. Yuru doesn't understand what legal or guardian means, and Hana tells him that it means they are basically his parents who will be responsible if he ever gets into trouble. On that note, Dara tells Yuru that they are going to be traveling for a long time, so he should use the toilet now. Yuru replies that he already did his business in the bushes and Dara is low-key disappointed in him. Hana tells him not to sit on the car's roof because people will be suspicious, and Yuru says that the guardians have been sitting there the entire time. Hana tells him that normal people can't see demons, and Right adds that demon wielders like Yuru can see them. Left says that they can also make themselves visible to other people, while some rare people have the ability to see them naturally. With that, they resume their journey and Dara tells Yuru that the ones helping Issei are the Kagemori clan. He says that they have some demon wielders too because they originally belonged to the Higashi village, just like him. They left the village because some differences in opinions arrived, and then established themselves in the modern world. Hana says that she doesn't want to get involved with them because they are dangerous people, and Dara agrees with her. He says that their families have lived in this world for generations, so they don't know much about the secrets of the village. However, they have the occupations of their ancestors passed down onto them. He talks about how Granny Yamaha wanted no outside to know where the Higashi village was, because she was sure that the people outside would want to use the power of the twins for their benefit. Dara tells Yuru that he procures goods and information to relay them to the villagers, while Hana does odd jobs in this world and has never actually been to the village. Dara says that he doesn't know what is going on Yamaha's mind, but since his clan is loyal to the village, he has to follow the rules and protect Yuru. Yuru recalls how upset Yamaha was about Asaf finding him and how she yelled at Dara to not let anyone find him. He asks Dara what is so special about him and his sister, and he tells him of the ancient prophecy. When a boy and girl are born in a village to the east, on the day when the day and night are equal, the world will be torn apart. Right tells Yuru that the last time this happened was 400 years ago, and twins who divided the day and night were born in the Higashi village. That time, a huge war took place, dividing the country into east and west. Long before that, when the twins were born, the country was split into north and south, and in both cases, demon wielders were responsible for it. Yuru is shocked to hear this and asks if they are the cursed children that will throw the world into chaos, but Right tells him that it is the people who want to use their powers that will divide the world. Yuru replies that he doesn't have any power, and Right replies that he may not have a power right now, but he has the potential for it. Dara says that Asa has already acquired her power, and Right gets excited as he says that her power is called Break, and it can forcibly break anything, no matter what kind of target it is. Its twin power is called Seal, and as the name suggests, it can close anything with force. Hana gets curious and asks what happens if the two powers collide, and Dara turns to the Guardians for an answer. He asks if anyone has obtained both powers at the same time, and Left replies that she doesn't know of anything like that happening. On this note, Yuru remembers that there was a barrier around the village, and he asks Dara how did he manage to come and go so easily. Dara replies that there is a very specific route one has to follow to reach the village. It includes going around a pile of rocks a couple of times and then crossing specific crossroads at specific angles and so forth. He says that the way to reach the village is quite confusing, but he learned it from his clan when he was kid, and now he can go back to the village whenever he wants. Dara adds that sometimes people who get lost in the mountains can follow the route accidentally and they end up in the village like Yuru's mother. Yuru is shocked to hear this, but then he recalls how his mother used to tell him that she is from a faraway place where his name means night. She wanted to show that world to him one day, and he realizes that he is finally in her birthplace now. A couple days later, Yuru has mastered the art of going to the toilet. He knows how to flush and wash his hands, but he is still afraid of the hand dryer because it is too freaking loud. Later, he takes a walk with his demons around a park, and they are surprised to see so many people at once. They remark that the modern world is really interesting, and this place must be the capital of the country if so many people are here. Yuru replies that Dara said that the capital is a place called Tokyo, which has 10 million people living in it, and the Guardians are flabbergasted on hearing this as they try to calculate how much rice 10 million people would eat in a day. Anyway, Yuru says that this is the best place for them to hide, and Lef says that they will try to search for her sister too. Yuru says that Dara and Hana are good people, but they are involved with Granny Yamaha, who lied to him all these years and tried to trap him in the village by creating a fake Asa. That is why he can't trust them. But he can't trust the real Asa fully as well. He wants to capture her so that she takes him to their parents because only they will have the answers about why they fled the village with just their daughter. He asks his demons if they are going to help him, and Right is excited because it seems fun. Left tells her partner not to behave in such a silly way when their master is so serious. Right asks her what she thinks about it, and she replies that she doesn't like people chasing after her because she is the apex predator, and she wants to do the chasing instead. While Yuru is intimidated by her attitude, Right is proud of her. With that, they go to talk to Dara, who just ends his call with Hana, telling Yuru that they have good news because Hana has found a place for them to live. Yuru is more curious about his cell phone instead, and Dara tries to explain it to him, but he can't get the right words. So he decides to adopt Hana's approach instead, and tells him that it is a smoke signal to send messages to one person. Soon, they reach the apartment Hana has rented out for them, and Yuru is baffled on entering it. He keeps scanning the apartment because he is curious about what the giant stone buildings are like on the inside. Hana has grown so used to his shocked reactions that she doesn't even care about them anymore. She tells Dara that power and water connections are already set up, and they are waiting for the gas connection to be activated as well. She gives Dara a room with a Western look while telling Yuru that he can use the traditional Japanese room with tatami mats. Yuru goes absolutely bonkers on seeing tatami mats in his room because they are a luxury item in the village that are only used by Ase or for really special occasions. He is ready to lick the mats to see if they are real, and then he plops on them, asking Hana if she is sure he can live in such an expensive place. Just then, he opens his eyes and sees a dog and cat watching him, and without a warning, they smack the crap out of his face. Yuru's scream reaches his demons who are checking out the bathroom, and they immediately go to their master's room to see what is going on. Hana is introducing her pets, the dog Gyro and the creepy orange cat Kotsuzu. Right and Left immediately sit down and greet the pets, thanking them for letting them in. They introduce themselves as Yuru's demons, and he is confused about why they are reacting like this. He is even more shocked when the cat and dog shake hands with the Guardians, and just then, Dara comes there. He greets the animals too, saying that he has never seen Hana's demons before. Yuru loses his mind on hearing that because he can't believe a regular-seeming dog and a cat who looks like a certified pervert are demons. Well, Hana's demons don't like his tone, so they cut his finger and then sucker punch him in the gut so that he learns his lesson. Right and Left tell Yuru to behave nicely in front of their hosts, but he still can't digest this news. After that, Hana puts a temporary nameplate in front of the door with her family name on it. Dara says that since he is the husband, it should be his name, but Hana reminds him that their enemies already know about him, so it will be better if they use her name. She tells Yuru to use this name too, and he freaks out on learning that both of them have family names because in his place, only nobles have family names. Hana tells him that everyone has a family name here, but Dara makes things more interesting by telling Yuru that Hana owns a mountain. Hana yells at him not to create confusion and explains that she inherited some land, but she can't maintain it, and there is no one ready to buy it either. Yuru excitedly asks her if he can go hunting on her mountain, which is a legendary pickup line. Hana tells him that he can't do it because he needs a license to hunt in this world. Yuru finds that hard to believe, and Dara tells him that he needs a license to drive cars as well, leaving him absolutely bamboozled. At the same time, Asa is in a lavish mansion, training her abilities. She flicks her finger to release just a tiny bit of her power at the apple in front of her. And even though she is accurate, she doesn't have the power to do anything besides peeling it. She decides to use her entire palm to channel more power. But this time she is not accurate at all and ends up damaging the garden. Just then, the head of the Kajimori family and the owner of the mansion arrives there, and Asa apologizes that she keeps damaging his garden. He tells her that it is fine as long as she doesn't kill anyone and asks her to keep practicing. He then tells Jin to clean things up, and he immediately summons his demon, a tiny piranha that grows gigantic as it swims through the pebbles and then gobbles up the statues that Asa just broke. After that, Asa asks the boss what is here for today, and he replies that he is here to see Gabby, who is busy playing video games, and tells the old man that he didn't need to bother coming here. The old man checks up on her and her demons, and Asa asks if she would like the apple that she couldn't destroy. Gabby is happy to take up the offer, but Asa doesn't have a knife. Luckily, Jin has got her covered, and he makes his piranha vomit a knife that it was carrying. Asa accepts the knife, but Gabby refuses to eat anything that comes from the belly of a disgusting fish. Anyway, she goes back on her word soon enough and enjoys the apple with everyone else. The boss then tells Gabby that she must stay here and recover, and Asa will look after her. Asa is surprised to hear this, but the old man tells her that if people know that she and her brother have left the mountain, they will do everything in their power to abduct them. He doesn't trust his own clansmen entirely either, and tells Asa that she needs to stay safe here. He orders Jin to look for Yuru instead, and Asa gets depressed on hearing this. Jin suddenly says that he doesn't even know what Yuru looks like, and Gabby regrets not clicking a picture. Asa draws a super charming sketch, and Gabby draws him like a ghost. While her demons draw a painting in classical Japanese style, Jin can't trust either of them, so he decides to look into Dara first. Later, Asa approaches him to warn him that her brother's demons have a very strong sense of smell, and he should beware of them. And at the same time, Gabby's demons hand him a sketch of left and right, and he is once again surprised by their talent. Later that evening, Dara shaves his beard because he wants to completely change his appearance now, but Hana is not happy about it because she thought that the beard was the only thing on his face that made him even a little handsome. Dara is disheartened on hearing this, and he is playing a bit too much into the fake husband and wife scenario. He asks Hana where their son is, and she casually replies that Yuru went on a walk with his guardians. With that, Dara starts checking his luggage, and he finds that his machete is missing. He asks Hana if she saw it, and she replies that she didn't even touch his stinking baggage. Well, Dara knows that means Yuru has the machete, and he wonders how far did he go, because if the cops catch him, things are going to get messy. Hana is furious at Yuru now, and she is about to give him a good old spanking like a real mom when he gets back home. Meanwhile, Yuru is on top of a building, and he says that the modern world is so huge, and they can't hope to find Asa so easily here. Lef says that she must be looking for Yuru too, so they will eventually meet with each other. Suddenly, Yuru has an idea, and he asks his demons if they can sense other demons like they smelled the horse-riding lady. Left affirms, and then Yuru asks Right if he can track Asa through the scent of her blood. With both his demons telling him they can do it, Yuru comes up with a plan. He says that they need to find a location with a lot of demons and Asa's scent because Dara told him that the Kajimori family has a lot of demon masters. Left and right like the plan, and they immediately unleash their full power, turning into their golden feral versions. They grab Yuru and take to the skies to search the city, and after a while of flying, they locate a place where there are a lot of demons and Asa's scent. They land near the location, and Yuru first throws up because of motion sickness. Right picks him up with his head and says that he can smell Asa nearby and some demons. Left asks if they can pummel the demons once they show up, but Yuru wants to try talking things through in case the demons are reasonable. She replies that not all demons can understand humans, so he might be asking for too much, and just then, Right smells Asa's scent getting closer. They head to an underground parking lot where Jin is with his men, searching for information about Dara. Yuru and his demons hide behind a pillar, and Right can confirm that these people smell like demons and Asa. He says that their demons must be nearby and asks Yuru if he can see them, but he can't see anything except the three men. Suddenly, Asa comes there, and as soon as Yuru sees her, He remembers his dead villagers and charges ahead to kill her. Right tries to warn him that the girl doesn't smell like Asa, but he is too late. Yuru is almost about to attack her, when Jin's giant piranha attacks him and traps him inside its jaw. Yuru can't understand what is going on, so Jin explains that he heard his demons had a sharp nose, so he used Asa's blood to lure them in. And the Asa he sees right now is an illusion created by his demon. At the same time, Hana is panicking and telling Dara that they need to find Yuru soon, and he thinks that he might hurt someone because he doesn't know the rules. Hana tells him that things will be even worse if he gets hurt. Dara is impressed that she cares so much about Yuru, but Hana tells him that she doesn't care if the boy lives or dies. She explains that he has no documents and, more importantly, no insurance, so they will have to pay for his medical expenses from their pocket, and that is enough to make Dara panic as well. Hana immediately turns to her dog Gyro and asks him to track Yuru by sniffing his jacket. Gyro first throws silent shade on how bad Yuru stinks and then leaps through the buildings to locate him. At the same time, Kotsu tracks Gyro's live location using jeeps, and Dara is surprised to see that a cat can use modern technology so well. Hana is shocked to find that Yuru has already reached Tokyo, but Dara wonders what he is doing there. Meanwhile, Jin thanks Yuru for coming all the way here and saving him the trouble of searching for him. Jin gets furious and tries to break out by cutting through the piranha's teeth, but they are too hard to be cut by his machete. Jin's lackeys order Yuru's demons to come out, and the two of them wonder what should they do. Left says that the men don't possess any weapons, but Right can tell that the other two guys also have a pair of demons serving them. They are confused about what to do, but then they decide to step out and face whatever happens head-on. Jin's lackeys are pleased to see it and tell them to stop right now if they want their master to live. But Right and Left keep walking towards them. Right asks Left who should they capture first, and she suggests that dealing with Jin will be their best option. Yuru apologizes for losing his temper, but Left tells him to stay where he is because that way Jin's demons can't do anything. Jin and his men are shocked to see a demon giving orders to her master, but Right laughs and says that their master has given them a free hand. Jin decides to face them head-on and orders his other demon to bring out some weapons. The small piranha vomits a bunch of guns and swords, and Yuru tells his demons to be careful because he knows what these weapons can do. The men start firing at the guardians, but the bullets have no effect on them because their bodies are made of stone. Even shotgun rounds do no damage, and the two of them wonder if this is something to be wary of. Suddenly, one guy shoots a grenade at Right, but he eats up like a Chad. However, the only damage he takes is when the piranha spits a stone statue at him. Suddenly, the bald guy picks up a crowbar to attack, but Left blocks it and slams him against the pillar. Jin attacks Right with a sword that snaps on hitting him, and the two guardians decide to stop holding back. However, the blonde guy uses his demons just then and summons a huge turtle Right on top of Left to press her down. Meanwhile, a tiny rabbit tugs at Right's dress before tripping him down and then overwhelming him with his super fast and powerful strikes. Right asks Left to back him up, but she can't move from her place because the turtle is really heavy. Yuru realizes that his demons are in real trouble right now, but he quickly looks around the parking lot and comes up with a plan instantly. He throws the machete at the turtle's eye, making it flinch and jump away. This frees Left, who immediately jumps and smashes the piranha's teeth with a powerful kick. Yuru is free now, and he throws a piranha tooth at the bald guy before telling Right to put out the lights. Right roars loudly, blasting all the lights in the parking lot, and in the darkness, Yuru escapes. The tiny rabbit tells its master that Yuru's demons are getting away, but Jin tells him not to worry because the third guy's demons are already waiting at the exit. Suddenly, he recalls Asa talking about how her brother has the mind of a hunter, and he barely reacts in time as Yuru appears behind him and attacks his legs. He is not able to avoid the attack fully, and when he orders his second demon to turn on the lights, his men find that Yuru has taken the injured Jin hostage, and his demons have not gone far either. The blonde guy yells at them, asking how can demons run away leaving their master in danger. But the guardians tell him that they have full faith in their master, and they were never far enough to let him stay in danger. Meanwhile, Yuru asks Jin if he was among the people who attacked his village. Jin affirms, taking full responsibility for the attack, and Yuru wants to kill him right away. However, he controls his rage and tells him to call Asa here because he wants to meet her. Blondie is shocked to hear that Yuru's demand is to talk to Asa and not custody of his twin like anyone would expect. Jin tells him that the Higashi village doesn't want both the twins, and Yuru replies that he is not representing his village but himself. Jin tells him to go to the Kajimori mansion because Asa has been waiting for him there. Yuru knows that it will be as stupid as walking into a bear's den and orders Jin to call her here instantly. Suddenly, Baldy calls for a temporary ceasefire so that he can close Jin's wounds before he dies of blood loss. Yuru agrees to that and says that Jin must be a delicate guy to bleed this much even though he cut shallow. Jin is shocked to hear this and asks Yuru if he cut shallow on purpose. Yuru affirms, saying that he could feel that Jin wasn't trying to kill him, so he held back. But if it was a fight to death, he wouldn't have shown mercy. However, Yuru knows that if Jin wanted to kill him, he could easily do that with the first sneak attack. At the same time, Wright's attention goes to the giant piranha, and he realizes that it is Jin's demon, while the rabbit and tortoise belong to Blondie. Left asks Baldy where are his demons, and he replies that they were around them all the time. Left asks if he didn't bring them here because they are not good at fighting, but he points towards the gigantic eye staring at them through the door and says that his demons are simply too big to fit inside this tiny place. That's what she said. Yuru starts panicking on seeing Attack on Titan in real life, and Jin tells him that he won't call Asa here, no matter what. He promises that Yuru won't be harmed if he comes to the Kajimori mansion, because they don't want to hurt him. Yuru looks at the rabbit and the tortoise, and then at the giant demon outside the door, and realizes that his guardians won't be able to handle all of them while protecting him. He decides to take the offer and tells Jin that he will come with him, but he must treat his guardians with respect. He then orders Jin to take him to Asa immediately, but before that, Jin decides to do a little cleanup. He orders his giant piranha to eat up the weapons and debris scattered around the room and explains to Yuru that his demons are called scavengers. The big piranha eats up everything, and the small one can take them out at any time. He explains that he often feeds his fish things that can come in clutch in emergency situations. Yuru doesn't understand a lot of fancy words that Jin uses, but he understands that his demons are really convenient. Meanwhile, Left takes an interest in the turtle that pinned her down all this time. She asks Blondie how heavy is his turtle, and he replies that he has never officially measured it, but it can get heavier than what she dealt with. Left is disappointed in herself on hearing this, and she replies that she needs more training. Blondie is fully simping for the muscle mommy at this point, and at the same time, his rabbit notices Wright glaring at him. The rabbit makes a smug face to tease him, and that pisses Wright off. He asks Yuru if he is good at hunting, and Yuru coldly replies that they need to set up traps for rabbits because they make a good broth. Blondie and his rabbit are terrified on hearing this, but just then, the parking security finally decides to show up. Blondie and Baldy go to talk to him and say that all the lights suddenly went off. The security guard is shocked to see all the lights broken and decides to evacuate the people stuck inside first, not realizing that there are more demons there than humans. On the other hand, Asa wakes up to a text from Jin, telling her that he is bringing Yuru over, and she immediately freaks out. She smacks Gabby to wake her up and tells her the good news before immediately getting confused and asking what should she wear to greet her brother. At the same time, Jin drives Yuru to the Kajimori mansion and calls the old boss to deliver the good news. The old man is pleased to hear this and tells Jin to drive slowly because he needs some time to return home from a little hot spring trip with his demons. On the way, Yuru keeps staring at the buildings in the distance as they enter the lavish Kajimori mansion. Right and Left are on alert the entire time, and Right asks Jin why is this place so empty because he heard that the Kajimori family had a lot of demon wielders. Jin replies that there are many demons nearby, but they are in a special VIP area that is just up ahead. They drive through an old wooden gate, which serves as a barrier. As soon as they enter the barrier, Right and Left can sense so many demons in the area that they forget basic math and can't make out how many pairs are there. At the same time, Gabby's demons tell her that Yuru is here, and she relays that message to Asane, who is too excited to see him again. She asks Gabby to come with her, but she passes because she doesn't plan to meet Yuru in case he puts more arrows through her body. Asa understands her situation and takes her leave while Gabby goes to sleep. At the same time, Hana's dog demon is in front of the barrier that he cannot cross. Her cat accurately displays his position on Google Maps, and both Dara and Hana are confused to see that Yuru stopped in a big building. However, when they learn that the building belongs to the Kajimori family, they start tweaking. Hana thinks that Yuru got captured, but Dara doesn't think that the Guardians would let that happen. Either way, he decides to go and bring Yuru back home. Hana asks if she should drive him, but he replies that the Kajimori family still don't know that they are working together, so she should lay low. Meanwhile, Yuru reaches the main mansion of the Kagemori family where a creepy blonde guy named Asuma arrives. Jin asks him what is he doing up so late, and Asuma replies that he came to welcome the other twin. Jin is shocked to hear that because he never gave any of that information to Asuma, and he replies that he has sharp ears. He notices that Jin is injured but doesn't pay him much attention and goes to greet Yuru instead. Just then, Asa comes running and Yuru is not happy. However, she is ecstatic and asks if she can hug him, but he clearly refuses. Asa gets sad on hearing this, and then Yuru tells her that he is not here to be friends with her, but to ask some questions. Asa is eager to tell him everything, but Yuru tells her to care for Jin's injury before that. Asuma seizes this chance and says that while Asa is showing Jin to the nurse, he can show Yuru around the mansion. Jin coldly refuses on Yuru's behalf, saying that he is their guest and will stay with them. Asuma doesn't fight back and walks away with the L, while Jin orders Baldy to stay at the gate on guard duty. He also tells Yuru to stay close to him inside the mansion or he will get lost. With that, they go to the infirmary where the purple-haired baddie doctor treats Jin's injuries. After receiving his stitches, he returns the vial of Asa's blood to the doctor, and that reminds Yuru of something important. He says that only monsters draw blood from living people, and Asa tells him that it was her idea. The baddie doctor tells Yuru that with modern medical science, they can draw the required amount of blood without hurting the patient. Yuru doesn't believe anything about that and says that it must be black magic or something, but Asa assures him that it is completely safe and even painless if someone skilled does it. With that, she stands in front of him with a serious look on her face and asks if she can hug him now. He refuses and begins growling at her before saying that his little sister is supposed to be smaller and cuter, but she is quite huge. Asa tells him that if he eats the food down here, he will grow up to become strong and healthy too. Yuru complains that the food here is salty and is heavily seasoned, but he likes the rice. He suddenly realizes that he is forgetting the main issue and asks Asa where their parents are. Her attitude changes immediately on hearing this question, and she grumpily tells Yuru that their parents are not here. He thinks that it is unlikely, but Asa tells him that their parents are missing and she has no idea where they are. She turns to Jin to recite the full story, and he asks how much should he tell Yuru. Asa says that he should tell everything because she doesn't want to lie to her brother. Jin is not happy to hear that, but it is Asa's call, so he complies. He says that a lot happened after Yuru's parents left the village. The Kagemori family took them in, and after a little time, they decided to visit Yuru's mom's home. Yuru is hyped on hearing this as he remembers how his mother was from this world and she wanted to take him to her home. Jin says that his mother was from Okinawa, and Asa explains that it is an island to the south and they need to take a plane to get there. After the attack on his village, Yuru knows what planes are, but he is still shocked to hear that they are vehicles. Asa explains that her mother just wanted to show her parents that she was not lost in some mountains but found a family, so she was very eager to go home. She left the young Asa with the Kagemori family and got on a plane, but when the plane landed, neither of their parents were to be found. Yuru is shocked to hear this and asks if their parents fell from the plane, but Asa tells him that it is not possible. Yuru asks how could this happen, and if they didn't have any guards with them. Jin replies that they had a reliable demon wielder bodyguard, but he vanished with them as well. Yuru says that the guard sounds suspicious now, and both Jin and Asa agree with that theory. Asa says that the guard could have been a secret agent from the Higashi village, whose mission was to get close to their parents and kidnap them. Jin says that it was the failure of the Kagemori family no matter how it happened. Yuru asks Asa how can she trust these people after their parents went missing, and she replies that she trusts the Kagemori family because the old master has kept her safe for this long when the village kept sending assassins after her. Yuru has no reply to this, and the room is filled with awkward silence. Meanwhile, some enemies have discovered that Yuru and Asa are both in the Kagemori mansion right now, and their most capable warriors are either injured or out of station. They think that it is the perfect time to grab both of them, because Asa's power is greatly reduced at night and Yuru doesn't have his power awakened yet. One of them asks how will they handle Yuru's demons, and the leader of the schemers replies that it is okay if Yuru dies right now because they only need Asa's head to fulfill their objective. They decide to make their move, but luckily, right and left can sense their hostile intent from a mile away. Left immediately goes to the window and draws the blinds just as two creepy yin-yang demons burst through the window. Everyone runs as fast as they can with the demons chasing after them, and Yuru curses Jin for leading him into a trap. Jin says that these are not Kagemori clan demons and enemies have broken through their barrier. Right and left think that they can defeat the demons, but Jin asks them to capture their master alive if possible. Yuru asks him what happens if they kill the master, and Blondie replies that if demons aren't transferred before their master dies, they become stray demons and become stuck in a location like ghosts. If they don't find a master, they vanish over time, and Yuru finds that really sad. He decides not to kill the demons or their masters and asks Jin if he has any bow and arrow. Jin immediately asks his small fish to puke out anything related to a bow and arrow, and there are a lot of things in the litter that Yuru doesn't recognize. However, he picks up the bow he is most familiar with and draws an arrow towards the demons approaching them, before releasing a powerful shot in their direction. However, he can't even aim correctly with the arrow that flies off towards the roof, and Yuru blames it on the bow, saying that it needs adjustment. The yin-yang demons are still charging at them, so they run to a safer location where Jin calls Gabby, asking her to back them up. Unfortunately, Gabby is hiding inside her jaw demon as a creepy demon is stuck in the jaws while the other one is desperately trying to free its partner. She asks Jin what the hell is going on, and he replies that they are currently fighting against demons they have never seen before. Gabby calls him a stupid nerd and tells him to do his job of protecting Asa well. Jin replies that he is injured right now, so he can't fight fully, but Yuru and his demons are taking care of things for them. Gabby is a little pissed on hearing Yuru's name, but she believes that he will be able to handle things on his end. She asks Jin if she can do as she pleases on her side, and he gives her the free rein. Just as she hears this, Gabby tells her jaw demon to bite the stuck attacker, and it instantly obeys, taking off the demon's head cleanly. Bozak Horseman is too terrified to move now, and Gabby menacingly says that she will let it join its partner in the afterlife. The horse demon tries to run away, but Gabby's jaw demon is quick to catch up and chomp it. With that, Gabby stabs outside her room and finds a bunch of demons lurking around, staring at her menacingly. However, she knows that she is not in danger. She is the danger and tells her demon that there are a lot of midnight snacks for it tonight. On the other hand, Yuru and others are still running from the yin-yang demons when Asa says that she can stop them. Yuru asks if she can really do that, and Asa asks if she can hug him once she shuts down those demons. Yuru refuses, so she gets a little pissed and apologizes to Jin if her attacks damage the mansion. They go into a room where Asa asks Yuru to distract the white demon for a bit so that she can use her powers. He loads an arrow to do as asked, but just as the two demons enter the room, they fuse together to unleash their true power before anyone can counter them. Yuru and Asa find themselves trapped in alternate dimensions, while Jin and others freak out on seeing that the twins are missing. The yin-yang demon tries to run away after fulfilling its objective, but Blondie immediately summons his turtle on top of it, locking the giant caterpillar in its place. He says that if this demon can make people vanish without a trace, it must be related to Asa's parents disappearing. He commands his turtle to increase its weight even more, pinning down the yin-yang demon to the floor even firmly. Jin tells him that he can't kill the demon or its master because they need to get information out of them, and Blondie agrees. Just then, his rabbit tells him that there are many enemy demons outside, and Blondie immediately asks Jin to deal with them while he focuses on his target. Even Rabbit decides to take the easy way out and says that he will protect his master, and Jin reluctantly gets ready to fight. He knows that the old master and his two elite bodyguards are out of station, and another skilled demon wielder is not in working condition either. He realizes that he has to win this fight without any reinforcements and immediately enters serious mode as he pulls out a Glock from his piranha. Meanwhile, trapped in the dark dimension, Asa keeps calling out to Yuru and others, but no one can hear her voice. She suddenly loses her confidence on realizing that she is all alone, because it reminds her of the time she used to be trapped in the temple in the village. She starts shivering and sweating when suddenly she hears Wright's voice, telling her that she is not alone. That freaks Asa out more than anything else, and she begins looking around to see where he is speaking from. Wright tells her that it is too dark to see anything, but assures her that he is right next to her. He says that this darkness is almost unnatural because it doesn't get this dark even at Higashi village. Suddenly, he remarks that he smells something foul, which turns out to be Asa's fear. He asks if she is afraid of the dark, and she remembers her traumatic childhood and replies that she is afraid of being alone in the dark. Just then, Wright reaches her and pats her head, saying that the smell of her fear led him to her. He tells her that she doesn't need to be afraid because he is with her, and Asa begins enjoying the reassuring head pats like a cat before realizing that Yuru went missing too. She frantically asks Wright about him, and he replies that he can't smell Yuru anywhere in this space. Asa asks why is Wright not protecting his master, and he replies that Left is there with Yuru. and she will be enough to keep him safe. He then tells Asa that he came here because he wanted to talk to her, and she is taken aback on hearing that. Wright reminds her how she acted him without warning the first time they met, and ever since he came to the mansion, she hasn't even greeted him. He asks the reason for that, and Asa says that when he cancelled her break attack in the village, she remembered something her parents had taught her. They had told her that the right and left guardians had the ability to counter the abilities called break and seal in case they got out of control, and Wright tells her that she is absolutely right. He declares himself as her natural enemy with a terrifying grin, and Asa realizes that left will become Yuru's natural enemy if he acquires the power to seal. At the same time, left lands right next to Yuru, who is at a complete loss inside the white dimension. He asks the guardian where they are, and left says that she has never seen anything like this in her life. Yuru says that they are standing on solid ground, but the white light everywhere is messing with his senses. Left explains that when she was flying earlier, she ran into a roof, which means this place is a barrier designed to keep them inside. Yuru panics a bit on hearing that, but then asks Left to help him adjust his aim with a new bow. She is a bit confused about his attitude, and Yuru tells her that his father taught him to keep his tools in good shape and be ready for any battle. So he is going to adjust his bow while they are stuck here. Left asks him if he is not scared in this strange place, and Yuru replies that nothing is making sense to him ever since his village was attacked, so he has gotten used to being confused. Anyway, he asks Left to hold his machete above her head as his target. While he tries to adjust his aim, he fails by a big margin on the first try, hitting Left in the head instead. Yuru panics and apologizes, but Left tells him to continue because she is made of stone and arrows can't do anything to her. Yuru fails another shot as well and starts freaking out, unable to figure out what is wrong. Left asks if he is not worried about his sister, and Yuru replies that she has the power to break, so she should be able to get out of the barrier on her own. At the same time, in the real world, the turtle feels something weird and jumps down from its place. Blondie asks what is going on, and the turtle just points at the yin-yang demon that suddenly bursts open as Asa and Wright pop out of it thanks to her powers. Everyone is excited to see her, but Asa has more important things to do before joining them. She uses her powers to break the yin-yang demon's contract with its master, and then asks the doctor for her blood. She splashes the vial of blood on the yin-yang demon to form a contract with it, and it instantly accepts her as its new master. The demon starts cuddling with Asa, who is taken aback at how friendly it is. She asks if it swallowed her brother, and as soon as the demon affirms, Asa frantically asks it to spit him out. The very next moment, the demon spits out Yuru and Left, who don't waste a second as they turn their weapons against it. Asa asks them to stop because the demon is on their side, and Yuru tells her to explain before he shoots. Asa tells him that the demon works for her now, and Blondie adds that it might be able to tell them about their missing parents. Yuru stops on hearing this, and Asa gets to work, asking the demon about its former master. The yin-yang demon has no shame in ratting out his former owner, who is hiding outside the room. However, Asa can't see him in the dark, and he thinks he can escape. But then suddenly an arrow from Yuru pierces his shoulder. He orders Wright to capture the man, while Asa is absolutely smitten by how amazing of a hunter her brother is. At the same time, Jin is limping through the mansion, telling non-combatants to stay hidden as enemy demons creep up to him from behind. He doesn't even bother paying attention to them as his giant piranha gobbles them up, and the smaller one spits grenades at the demon wielders hiding in the shadows. He doesn't hesitate in getting his hands dirty either, and once his piranha has gobbled up the demons trying to ambush him, he shoots their master at point blank. Just then, Gabby comes there and reports that she dealt with 5 weaklings on the way, but she didn't recognize any of them. Jin tells her that he didn't recognize anyone either when suddenly, he notices someone behind him. He turns around to shoot, but to his surprise, the man is already defeated with an arrow sticking out from his arm. Jin realizes that Yuru took this guy down, but he is confused about where is he shooting from. Yuru is currently on the roof of the mansion, pretending to be Batman with a bow. He suddenly senses someone in the bushes, but then decides against shooting the guy, and instead changes his position. Meanwhile, the samurai guy hiding behind the bushes figures out that he can't win against Yuru in a head-on fight because he will be shot dead before he can even get close to him. He decides to call it quits because he doesn't want to die like the other fools in this hastily assembled team. Meanwhile, another attacker decides to run away because he has already lost his demons, but as he tries to cross the gate, he bumps into something and falls down. He freaks out as he sees a giant eye, and just then, Baldy comes there with a crowbar and smacks the living daylights out of him. Soon, everyone gathers around the damaged rooms and Yuru tells Jin that there has to be better ways to entertain guests than by making them fight intruders. Jin apologizes and thanks Yuru for helping them, and he bluntly replies that he doesn't care about them and he did everything to find his parents. Just then, Gabby also arrives there and immediately starts beefing with Yuru. Asa somehow manages to calm them down because they need to deal with the attackers they have captured alive. Gabby asks Jin what are they going to do with them, and he replies that the master will make the decision, but they can interrogate them till he returns. Blondie steps up for the job and goes to the punk who previously owned the yin-yang demons. The punk replies that he was paid a huge amount of money to kidnap the twins, but he doesn't know who his employers were. Blondie doesn't even bother asking questions and summons his turtle on the punk's lap, crushing his legs instantly. He agrees to talk now and Blondie asks him who hired him. The punk swears on his mama that he doesn't know anything, and he met everyone on the team for the first time in his life. He thinks that a bearded guy in a camo jacket was the leader, and Baldy gasps on hearing that because he pretty much demolished that guy's brain. Jin is disappointed to hear this and then asks the punk if he knows anything about the twins' parents that disappeared from a flight. He swears again that he doesn't know anything at all and Yuru feels disheartened on hearing that. No one else knows anything as well. And Asa apologizes to him because she knows he came here just to find out their parents, but they don't have any leads. Just then, Jin asks if anyone else has questions for this guy and Asa raises her hand. She asks the punk the names of his demons and he replies that he calls them things like hey or you, because they are livestock and he is not wasting his energy naming them. He says that they will get carried away if they get names and his answer pisses off Gabby. She puts the punk's head inside her jaw demon's mouth, pressing it just enough to draw blood from his head. The man fears that he is going to get the real attack on Titan experience, but then Gabby decides to spare his life and returns to her room. After that, Asa decides to name the demons herself, and they start cuddling with her because they are really happy to hear that. She tells them not to get their hopes too high because she is only their temporary master and then asks them to become smaller as their big size is a bit uncomfortable. They turn into cute semicolon demons with that, and Yuru decides to strike up a conversation. He asks Asa if she is used to assassins attacking her like this, and she affirms, saying that the village has sent numerous people to kill her. Suddenly, Yuru points at her eye patch and asks if she lost that in an attack too. Everyone goes silent on hearing this and Asa affirms. But then she decides not to hide anything from her brother. She tells him that she once died at the hands of an assassin from the village and Yuru doesn't know how to process this information because Asa is clearly alive in front of him. The shock makes Yuru relive the time that he himself almost died. A few days before his parents would run away from the village, he and his father had gone out hunting when he was ambushed by a bandit. The goon had him pinned down to the ground with a knife mere inches from his face. Realizing he had to kill or be killed, Yuru stabbed the bandit in the stomach, and at the same time, an arrow pierced the bandit's neck, causing him to die instantly. The arrow was shot by Yuru's father, who immediately ran to check if his son was okay. Upon noticing the bandit's blood on his clothes, he realized the incident traumatized Yuru. He hugged and apologized to Yuru, but told him not to forget the intent to kill because he will probably experience it many times in the future, and he should never hesitate to fight back against those who wish to harm him. After the lecture, Yuru watched as his father disposed of the body, but no matter how much he tried, he couldn't calm down. His father reassured him that this anxiety was normal, and that in such moments, he should take deep breaths and let the fear disappear. He emphasized that it was important for hunters like them to master such a skill, because when they are facing beasts, they must think clearly and fearlessly to survive. Later that night, as they sat by their campfire for dinner, Yuru's father instructed him not to tell anyone in the village that he was attacked by a bandit. Yuru was confused by this because he thought they should warn everyone in case the bandits' allies decided to attack the village as revenge. But his father was sure the bandits would not attack and convinced Yuru to act calm and pretend like nothing happened. The next day, as soon as the two returned to the village, the nosy neighbors asked if they were okay because it was unusual for them to stay overnight in the woods. Yuru's father confidently replied that they lost track of time while hunting, and when asked where all their game was, he told them to mind their own business. But this was not the end of the interrogation. Moments after returning home, they were greeted by Granny Yamaha, who said everyone was very worried when they didn't return last night. The father tried to act normal, but she walked straight toward Yuru and asked him about the blood on his clothes. When Yuru had no answer, his father casually answered that the blood is from the rat they ate for dinner and quickly changed the subject by asking where Asa was. Yuru and his father then went down to the basement where Asa and Yuru's mother were anxiously waiting for them. Upon seeing both father and son in one piece, they were immediately flooded with relief. Although he felt bad about lying, Yuru reassured Asa that nothing bad had happened, and that he was just tired because he was too anxious to sleep while camping out in the woods. The tense feeling in the room finally disappeared, but it wasn't for long because as the twins were happily yapping, Yuru's father whispered something into the mother's ear which noticeably disturbed her. Just a few days after that incident, his parents fled the village with Asaid, leaving Yuru behind. But the worst betrayal of all was that the girl inside the cage who he believed was his sister for 10 years was an imposter, and everybody in the village were liars. As Yuru processed these memories in a new light, he decided to hear out Asa's bizarre story about dying. She claims that once she and her parents were on the run, they were pursued by countless foes. They managed to evade them all and barely survived until the Kajimori clan took them in. After that, things had calmed down until her parents went missing. Last year, when she had turned 15, she was captured by an assassin from the village who ended up killing her. But instead of feeling nothingness, she found herself in an alternate dimension in which a masked demon with the power of the break lived. Finding herself surrounded by darkness and skulls, Asa wondered if she was in hell. Hearing this, the demon laughed and asked what kind of life she had lived to automatically assume that she ended up in hell. It then explained that they were in the land at the boundary of life and death called the Shadow Realm. Asa realized that everything that her father said about the prophecy was true, and that twins born in their village on the day when day and night are equal are destined to travel to the Shadow Realm and command demons. The demon confirmed this prophecy and explained that the villagers probably killed her in the hope of unlocking her power. It then gave her two options, to either choose death or accept the demon and its power of break. If used correctly, the demon claimed that Asa would be able to decide the fate of the world with her power. But it also warned that most people would only see her as a tool to use. At that moment, Asa considered choosing death because she had already lost her parents. But then she suddenly remembered Yuru. Panicked, she asked the demon if he had already died and entered the Shadow Realm, but the demon replied that she wouldn't know because he would be sent to the demon who possessed the power of seal. Asa realized that she could not die without knowing what happened to her brother, especially because she and her parents left him behind in the village full of people who might want to kill him. Not wanting to die before saving him, she decided to accept the power of break and return to the world of the living. Upon being revived, she found herself tied to the chair that her assassins bound her in. As blood still spilled from her body, she silently listened as her killers were arguing about how they messed up because she had not resurrected yet. The female assassin then reassured the guy that even if they failed this time, they could try again with the other twin to obtain the power of seal. She added that since Yuru was brainwashed by the village, he would be easier to capture and manipulate. Asa decided she had heard enough and used her newfound powers to free her hands from the tied rope. One of her eyes started glowing as she went to attack them, ending the one-sided fight with just a single blow. Moments after, Gabby found Asa sitting next to the two assassins' bodies. Gabby felt bad for Asa because she had never taken anybody's life before, but Asa stated that she had now accepted the path that was chosen for her, and that included getting her own hands dirty. Now that she is done relaying the story of how she died and came back to life, Asa apologizes to Yuru for no longer being the sweet innocent sister he once knew. Meanwhile, Gabby returns to her room to find two straw dolls of a horse and an ox. She guesses that they are the remnants of the demons she defeated during the attack and decides to honor them by burying the dolls in the backyard. The next day, as the Kajimori clan cleans up the mess from the previous night's attack, Dara shows up at the mansion's gate and states that he has come to get Yuru. Jin immediately gets word of his arrival and informs Yuru, who wonders how to handle the situation. He realizes he doesn't really know whether he should trust Dara or the Kajimori clan and decides to hear both sides at the same time. So he asks Jin to let Dara in. As they walk toward the entrance to meet Dara, they are intercepted by the creep Asuma, who points out how much of a mess the mansion is in. When Jin explains that the mansion was stormed by demon wielders the previous night, Asuma acts surprised. Jin finds his cluelessness hard to believe because of his keen sense of hearing and accuses him of intentionally staying out of the fight, but Asuma shamelessly claims to have slept through the whole thing. At the same time, a huge whale named Hagyr walks in and asks if an earthquake hit the mansion. Once Asuma explains the situation, Hagyr frantically looks around to see if Asa is okay, which is when he notices Yuru for the first time. He immediately recognizes him as Asa's twin and is glad to know that she finally found him. But his joy suddenly turns to fear when he notices the two giant demons right and left glaring at him. It is not every day that he finds people bigger than him. As the group continues walking to the entrance, Hagyur apologizes for not being there to help during the rampage. He points out how shocking it is that the barrier around the mansion was breached and that they should stay on high alert because no place is safe anymore. As soon as they reach the front yard, Hagyur notices his father and Kejimori clan leader Gonzo's car roll up. After Gonzo, Dara exits out of the car, completely shocking Jin. Gonzo explains that he ran into Dara at the entrance and offered a ride after learning that he was Yuru's guardian. He then grabs and shakes Yuru's hand while saying that he is glad to meet him. He then starts praising and having fun with right and left while Jin examines Dara carefully. He finds it suspicious that Dara, who is from the Tadara clan, which serves the Higashi village, has arrived defenseless at the Kejimori clan's stronghold, especially when his clan has never shown themselves before. Jin is not the only one who is uneasy though, because even Gonzo is secretly wishing to kill Dara on sight. Yuru senses the hostile energy and wonders what the Tadara clan has done to the Kejimoris to deserve such hatred, but he tosses those thoughts aside for now. Instead, he confronts Dara, right, and left for not telling him that he could obtain the powers of Seal if he died. Dara answers that he couldn't be sure whether the legends were true, and he knew that if he told Yuru, he would carelessly risk his life if his sister was put in danger because he would have a false sense of security. Right and left support Dara, saying that there is no guarantee that he will be resurrected if he dies. Left adds that the last time twins like Ase and Yuru were born 400 years ago, one of them failed to come back to life after dying. Yuru and Asa are stunned into silence after hearing this, but Gonzo quickly changes the mood by saying that such conversations are not meant to be had on an empty stomach and asks if everyone is hungry. Since everyone is tired from the previous night's battle, they drool at the thought of food, so Gonzo orders his butlers to arrange breakfast. As everybody walks back inside the mansion to eat, Asa is just super happy to have breakfast with her brother after 10 whole years. Gonzo leads everyone to the hall to have breakfast together, but it is completely thrashed after the fight last night. Hagyur asks if he should fix it and Gonzo tells him to go ahead. Hagyur steps into the room and summons his first demon, a white flame on his shoulder. Right and left are surprised to see the flame demon, but what shocks them even more is their ability. Hagyur simply moves his hand in the direction of the damaged floor, and it is instantly repaired, even though it is just a white blot. He then summons his second demon, a black flame, and uses its power to fill colors and texture in the floor he just repaired. He repeats the same process with the broken windows and furniture, and soon, the room is back to its original condition. Yuru can't believe what he just saw, so he examines the floor himself and then asks Hagyur how did he do it. The whale tells him that his demons are called Black and White. While White can fix anything he wants, Black can use its ability to fill in the details about the item. Yuru doesn't even know what a manga is. Dara, on the other hand, has heard Hagyur's name. The whale is a bit embarrassed about being recognized and says that he makes a decent living from his work. Also, because the Kejimori family has a ruthless reputation, he doesn't tell anyone that he is one of them. Dara is surprised to hear that, and Hagyur decides to drop an even more unbelievable fact on him. He reveals that he, Asuma, and Jin are brothers, with him being the oldest and Jin being the youngest of them. Yuru can't believe that a grumpy uncle like Jin is the youngest brother, and Jin is pissed about his reaction. Hagyur then adds that they are brothers from different mothers, which is why they look different. Asuma says that as the eldest son, Hagyur is the heir of the Kejimori family, and tells Yuru that being friends with him will help him later in life. Hagyur immediately refuses to take command of their sketchy family because he is satisfied with his peaceful and respectable career. Dara immediately heads over the wooden pillar and tells Hagyur that his art is incomplete because the wood he repaired is black and white. Hagyur replies that the color from the surrounding will naturally bleed into the repaired wood, so it will look natural. But then suddenly, he notices something unusual. He gets mad at himself because he got the details of the pillar wrong because it should have worn out edges because it is quite old. He finds that he made the mat wrong too because it should be more damaged. He decides to redo it properly, but Jin tells him to shut it because they need to have breakfast first. Soon, the servants arrive there with food and Gonzo tells everyone to sit wherever they want because they are a modern family and traditional seating patterns are not important to them. Yuru notices two tiny sumo wrestlers carrying a bunch of pillows towards him. He keeps staring at the two tiny creatures in disbelief as a servant comes to pick the pillows up and tells him to take a seat. The mini sumos then lay out pillows for right and left, who tell Gonzo that it isn't needed because they don't eat human food, but he says that they treat all their guests equally. Soon, everyone starts eating and Jin asks Dara how did he find out that Yuru was here. Dara replies that it is a secret, so Jin asks him if the Higashi village was behind the demon wielders that attacked the mansion last night. Dara cheerfully replies that he has got no clue about it, and then adds that he has no reason to attack the twins. Jin says that the timing is really uncanny because the attack started just as Yuru entered the mansion. Meanwhile, Yuru is busy eating and Asa is busy fangirling after him. Jin asks Dara if it is true that members of the Tadara family can slip through barriers, and he replies that he cannot cross the barriers of other families. Dara then turns his attention to Asa, asking if the Kajimori clan has been treating her well. Asa coldly tells him not to worry about her because she is fine here. She claims that assassins can't target her in the Kajimori mansion, but they somehow broke in last night. The doctor says that she doesn't want Asa going out of the mansion because assassins are always waiting outside. However, there are times when they can't give her enough medical care in the mansion, so she has to go to hospitals. Asa adds that she was at a hospital when she was kidnapped by the Higashi village assassins. Dara is shocked to hear that and asks Asa if she was unwell. She says that it was just a gastric ulcer, and then starts staring at him menacingly, saying that she got it because of the constant stress that assassins were after her life. Dara is intimidated by her attitude and apologizes, even though he has nothing to do with the attacks. He then asks Asa about her family registry because she can't have insurance without that. Asa replies that she doesn't have a family registry. She was planning to get it from her mom's side since she was from this world, but then her parents disappeared mid-flight. That comes as a shock to Dara because he never knew that the twins' parents had vanished. He says that he has not heard about this matter in the village, and claims that Higashi village might not be the one responsible for it. Gonzo clearly says that he doesn't believe him, and Dara clarifies that he has killed people invading the village, but he has never attacked anyone like the extremists from the village. He tells Gonzo that he came here without any weapons to peacefully pick up Yuru and to prove that he doesn't want to fight. He adds that it might have been someone from the Kajimori family who attacked the twins' parents because he knows they all don't believe in the same thing. Dara then asks Gonzo what does he want to do with the twins, and the old man replies that the power of the twins always brings chaos in the world. He wants Yuru and Asa to be the final set of the ill-fated twins, and to destroy the Higashi village so that no other twins are produced. Gonzo starts slandering the Higashi village, saying it is an outdated place that still dreams of conquering the world. But times have changed, and they can't be allowed to do as they please. He declares that as descendants of the village people, it is their responsibility to bring it down for good. However, Asuma immediately objects to that idea. He says that only those who are chosen by gods have special powers, and they should use their abilities to peacefully govern the world. He wants the Higashi village to continue to exist, but under the supervision of a capable organization. Yuru hears everything keenly and turns to his guardians, saying that when he asked if the twins are cursed children who bring destruction to the world, they immediately denied it. They claimed that it was people trying to use their power who started the wars. Yuru says that he felt relieved when he heard that he isn't being blamed for anything, and he felt like he deserved to live. With that, he finishes breakfast and then points at Asa, saying that she apologizes for everything, even things that are not her fault. He asks who is making her feel that everything is her fault. He wants to know why should anyone dictate their lives when they aren't harming anyone. Yuru says that since the Kajimori family isn't a monolith, he wants the extremists to listen to what he has to say. And he asks Dara to pass this message to everyone in Higashi village as well. He declares that he has no intention to run or hide, and anyone who wants to attack him can come at him with their full strength. He will defeat them, and then get all the information he can out of them. Dara tries to calm him down, but then suddenly Asa gets up and calls Yuru the biggest idiot the world has ever produced. Yuru is intimidated by her, and Asa tells him that he can be so confident only because he doesn't know how it feels to have assassins constantly trying to kill him. She says that she doesn't want him to go through what she faced, and he should run and hide to keep himself safe. Asa turns to the guardians so that they can talk some sense into their master, but they are literally gleaming with joy on hearing that Yuru plans to fight, and they will get plenty of action. Gabi also agrees with Yuru, saying that he wants to take half of Asa's burden, so it is a good thing. Well, Yuru never thought about it that way, and he feels uncomfortable being made a hero when he was just trying to be a Sigma male. Just then, Gonzo asks Yuru if he wants to join the Kajimori family because then he will be safe and comfortable. Yuru instantly refuses, saying that Gonzo called the village a miserable place that needs to be destroyed. However, he was born and raised there, and there are people he cares about in the village. He thanks Gonzo for trying to help, but declares that he can't be with the people who attacked his village. He wants to look for his parents first before doing anything else. but even Dara doesn't want him to go looking for heat right now. Anyway, Dara asks Gonzo and Asa if they can leave now, and Asa suddenly bows before him and the Guardians, asking them to keep her brother safe. With that, they head outside and Asa stops right in front of the gate, telling Yuru that she doesn't cross the border or she will be attacked by people who want her power. Yuru recalls how Asa couldn't leave the cage in the village and thinks that her prison has become bigger, but she is still not free. Just then, Asa shows him a picture of their parents before they vanished, and Yuru, along with his demons, freaks out because they have never seen a photograph before. Asa decides to show him how a camera works by clicking a selfie. And while Yuru is flabbergasted and impressed by it, she is glad that she managed to trick him into getting a picture. Right and left want a picture too, but unfortunately, cameras don't usually capture demons. Yuru then asks Asa to show him the picture of their parents again because he hasn't seen them in 10 years. Asa says she will send him a printed version soon, and Yuru is really happy to hear that. She asks him for his address, but he doesn't remember it, and Asa's plan to know his address fails. She tries asking Dara, but he doesn't trust her enough to share any personal information. Jin says that it will be nice if they have a way to share updates and asks for his email address, but Dara doesn't want that either. Jin has a better idea, and he gives him a business card for a bar that his family runs. He tells Dara to take his name, and the bar will help them communicate with each other. Dara gladly accepts it because he plans to drink on Jin's tab. He then thanks the Kajimori family for breakfast and leaves their barrier, but before they go, Asa has one final thing to tell Yuru. She tells him that their parents were heartbroken to leave him in the village. They wanted to take him along too, but Granny Yamaha got in their way and they could barely leave with her. Yuru gets emotional on hearing this and says that this information alone made coming here worth it. Asa can't control herself on hearing that and rushes outside the barrier to hug him. Yuru is taken aback by this, and then Asa puts her hand on his back, telling him to take care. She runs back inside with that, and as the gate closes, Yuru falls to his knees. Everyone is worried that Asa did something, but Yuru says that he let his guard down, and if this was a bear, he would be dead. He then starts crying, saying that this girl is definitely Asa because she used to put her hand on his back just like this in the past. Meanwhile, Asa tells Jin not to put a spy behind her brother because trust is important, and he agrees, but apparently Asuma does not, and he sets a butterfly to tail Yuru. A few minutes later, Yuru and his group exit the Kajimori estate, and Dara starts thinking about how he is going to drink on Jin's tab in the bar he told him about. Suddenly, he notices Yuru looking a bit gloomy, so he decides to change his mood by saying that since they are already in the middle of the city, they should explore it and learn more about the world. Yuru doesn't understand what he is talking about, but soon, Dara takes him to a boat and he can't stop staring through the window while his demons enjoy themselves on the boat's roof. Next, Dara takes him to ride the metro and Yuru freaks out once again. But once they go to a race course, he feels completely out of place because everyone else is screaming like crazy. Once the race is over, Yuru starts talking about the horses here are bigger and faster than the ones in the village. He already likes the horse that won the race and asks Dara how much would it cost. Dara can't even calculate the price of a racehorse and tells Yuru to forget about it, offering to buy him other essential things he needs to live here. Yuru immediately tells him that he needs arrows desperately because he doesn't have enough of them for all the enemies coming after him. Dara starts thinking about where he can find arrows, but then Yuru says that he can make them himself if he has the right material, and that solves his dilemma. He immediately takes Yuru to Home Depot, where the boy and his two demons are dumbfounded on seeing so many things on sale at once. Dara asks him to chill and name the things he needs, and Yuru says that he needs bamboo, thread, and a knife. He plans to use the feathers he sold to Dara the other day as the arrows fletching. However, the main concern he has is if the Home Depot sells deer, because he wants to boil deer skin and organs to make a natural glue. Dara is disgusted just by the idea and tells Yuru to use wood glue like a civilized guy instead. Once they have everything, they go to the counter where the receptionist turns out to be a special case who can see left and right. Her mind goes blank on seeing the two demons, so she switches to autopilot and scans all the items, before telling her manager that she needs a break because she is seeing things now. Right and left also notice that and tell Yuru that the girl could see them even though she is just an ordinary human. And Dara says that sometimes humans can see demons if they are sleep deprived. Next, Dara takes Yuru shopping for clothes and he freaks out thinking that mannequins are scarecrows. Dara tells him to pick whatever he wants and the edgelord goes for a black jacket because it will hide bloodstains well. Dara tells him to get some underpants too, but Yuru prefers a loincloth like they do in his village. Suddenly, he remembers something important and tells Dara that when he used to hunt in the forest, some bandits tried to attack him. Obviously, they were no match for him, and he killed them first. But he noticed something strange about them. Their hands were too clean compared to the village people whose hands and nails have so much dirt that it can never be washed away. However, the most important thing was that one of them was wearing underpants like these, and now Yuru is certain that the bandits were assassins sent by the modern world to kill him. Right and left, however, think that the opposite is more possible. They tell Yuru that the village must have sent the assassins and made them dress like outsiders so that he wouldn't suspect them when he died and got the ability to seal. Yuru says that even though he wants to believe that his village wouldn't do this to him, he can't fully trust them now. Dara tells him that only he and a few other people know the way to enter the Higashi village, and Yuru is pleased to hear that because it narrows down the list of his targets. Left asks him if they are going to attack those people, and Yuru affirms, saying that they will strike them down while they are not ready. Dara was low-key expecting that from them, and Yuru says that they need to secure the high ground because that is how hunters win fights. On that note, he tells Dara that they are being followed, but he already knows about it. He says that there are 3 guys following them and tells Yuru to not look back. Yuru thinks that they might be from the Kajimori clan and tells Dara that his plan of hiding from them might have gone down the drain because he was in the selfie clicked by Asa. Dara tells him to chill because the mansion has many security cameras that would have captured his face, and he already considered that when he decided to pay the Kajimori clan a visit. Back in the Kajimori mansion, Asa is looking at her picture with Yuru. She swipes to see his solo pic, but her mood is spoiled when she sees Dara photobombing her brother. She immediately tells Gemini to remove him from the picture, even though Pope Leo wouldn't want that. Just then, Jin comes there and asks her to send him the picture of Dara, because he is a potentially dangerous person, and they need to keep an eye on him. Asa nonchalantly tells him that Dara isn't in any pictures she clicked, and the surprised Jin tells Blondie to check the security cameras for him. Deeper inside the mansion, Gonzo is talking to the captured attackers. The tan delinquent says that the guy in the camo jacket was their leader, and he contacted them last night, saying that he had a job for them. The girl shows her call logs to Gonzo, saying that she received the call around midnight, and the delinquent also got the call around the same time. Blondie remarks that they finished their fight with Yuru around the exact same time and then headed to the mansion. Jin asks them when did they enter the mansion, and they reply that they got inside just before 2 in the morning. That is surprising news for everyone because the security is tightest during night, and only clan members and their guests can cross the gate at night. Gonzo asks the 2 prisoners if there was anyone from the family at the gate to let them in, and the delinquent says that nobody was there. However, the girl reminds him that they got in through the west gate, which was wide open. This is the greatest shock for Gonzo and others because there is no west gate in the mansion. The delinquent is sure that they entered through the west gate, but Jin tells him that the entire western side is a wall. Gonzo decides that he can't trust the prisoners, so he tells his guard Kuro to do his job. Kuro steps forward and summons his demon, which is a pair of arms sprouting from his back. The arms grab the girl's demons and she freaks out, but Gabby tells her to relax because Kuro is not going to hurt anyone. He then summons his second demon, which is a talking book that reads everything about the 2 demons and their owner, including her address, her parents' divorce, and the medical bills of her ill mother. Kuro stops his talking book for a minute to give the poor girl some privacy and reads the rest of the details himself. Once he is done with the demons, he goes for the yin-yang demons currently working for Asa and reads the history of the thug who previously owned them. Kuro confirms that both these guys met each other for the first time last night. With that, Gonzo stands up and says that since both of them don't have any connection to the mastermind behind the attack and took the job only because they needed money, they should work for him. He tells the girl that he will even take care of her mother's medical bills. The delinquent gets excited on hearing this and asks Gonzo if he can clear his gambling debt too, only to get a sandal to his face. Once the matter is sorted, Gonzo walks outside with his guards, telling them to keep the 2 newbies as expendable soldiers. He also orders them to put other captured demon wielders to use and keep investigating. And once they find the mastermind, he wants them to kill that bastard and everyone associated with him. Meanwhile, Asa and others start working on cleaning the mess and repairing the house, and the delinquent asks Asa if he can have his demons back. She tells him to apologize to them and come up with names for them, and he immediately agrees. However, the yin-yang demons are not ready to forgive him yet, and Gabby suggests Asa to keep them permanently because they have cool abilities. On the other hand, Yuru and Dara leave the supermarket with the spies still following them. Yuru regrets leaving Dara's machete back at Kajimori house, but he is glad that happened because he didn't want Yuru to swing a machete in the middle of the city. Dara tells him that if he needs weapons, he can grab some from his house, and Yuru asks if he is sure about that because they are being followed. Dara doesn't mind at all and leads Yuru to his place through confusing streets. His house is full of weapons, from axes to rocket launchers, and Dara tells Yuru to pick whatever he wants. He simply picks an axe when right and left warn both of them that there are demons around. Dara gets ready for action and apprehends the 3 spies who found him in the house. They pull out their guns as soon as they see him, but Dara disarms one, while the guardians pin the others down. The remaining guy runs for his life, but suddenly a thick mist engulfs him, and when it fades, the guy finds himself lost in the middle of nowhere. Dara tells him that the house is Tatara clan's secret base, and it is practically in the same dimension as the Higashi village. Only he knows the way out and tells the spy to tell everything about himself if he doesn't want to get lost here and die. The spy tries getting away but trips on the skeleton of an agent from the Kajimori clan who made the mistake of following Dara in the past. Right and left interrupt his interrogation and tell him that they still sense demons around, and Dara tells them that the Tatara house is a demon itself. However, the guardians are not talking about that, and Yuru and Dara get alert on hearing this. Suddenly, a long whip hits one of the spies and tears his head from his body. Everyone stares in shock as a creepy demon with super long arms comes out of the well nearby, grinning menacingly. As Yuru and Dara get ready to fight him, the demon's partner takes care of another spy while doing the most insane squat in history with its super long legs. The 2 creepy demons get together and start taunting the guardians, who are really pissed to see them. Left drops the surviving spy near Yuru, telling him to get away from this location because the demons in front of them are real monsters, and he can't handle them yet. However, she is itching for a fight, and so is Right, who seems to know the demons very well. Dara forces the knocked out granny spy awake, who immediately starts screaming in horror at the sight of the demons. Seeing her reaction, Dara determines that those demons are not hers and starts worrying about how an unknown third party managed to enter the Tatara's lost house and what they could want. He then turns to Right and Left, who seem to know the demons, for answers. Left says that they had met these demons named Longlegs and Longarms a long time ago. Even back then, the long-limbed demons caused a lot of havoc in the north side of the village. So with the help of a traveling monk who possessed the power of the seal, they confined them inside a mountain. Right then asks the demons how they escaped from the mountain, to which they answer that their new master dispelled the seal spell and granted them freedom after over 1,000 years. And now that they're here, they plan to settle the score with Right, Left, and the monk. Sadly for them, Right and Left have no idea where the monk is, claiming that his last known whereabouts were at the mountain itself. Dara tries to recall the legends surrounding Longlegs and Longarms. He remembers that they were a nightmare for farmers, as they were known for stomping on fields and flooding them with water they carried from nearby streams. Longlegs and Longarms get triggered after hearing these stories and swear that the villagers spread false propaganda about them while they were sealed in the mountain. In reality, all they did was eat a few innocent people, and after seeing the crowd here, they pick Yuru to be their next meal. They then ask Left and Right who their current master is and guess that if they are here, a new pair of twins must have been born, and the one who possesses the power of seal might be right here. Suddenly, Dara yells out Right and Left's names and commands them to attack Longlegs and Longarms. Right is about to put Dara in his place when he makes eye contact with Left and realizes that this is all an act. He quickly changes his tone and agrees to fulfill his master's wishes. Longlegs and Longarms take the bait and immediately start chasing after Dara, thinking that he is Right and Left's master. They whip their limbs forward to catch him, but Right and Left intercept them. They seem to have the upper hand at first, but Longarms swiftly escapes from Right's grip and starts bashing his head into the ground. Meanwhile, Longlegs also gains distance from Left and starts spinning his legs at a breakneck speed and uses the momentum to kick Left away. Dara fires several bullets at the demons, but this only pisses them off and draws attention back towards him. Longarms swats the gun, splitting it in half, and goes for a second attack, but Right blocks his path. At this point, the demons realize that nobody is using the power of seal and guesses the wielder is not here after all. They begin relishing the idea of destroying Left and Right, who are much weaker without seal helping them. In the meantime, Dara sneaks away and reaches Yuru and the granny, who are hiding behind some rocks. He thanks Yuru for taking cover without being told to, but Yuru ignores this and instead starts grilling Dara about whether he is hurt and why he lied about being Right and Left's master. Dara explains that he is just doing his duty as Yuru's guardian and also because he promised Assad that he would keep him safe. Yuru is still mad and insists that he can also fight. The granny spy is stunned to hear this and asks how on earth can such a little guy dream to face Longlegs and Longarms. He quickly shuts her up by pointing his axe at her, and Dara takes the chance to ask if she works for the Cagemoris or Higashi village. She quickly confesses that she was sent by the Cagemoris, but Yuru demands more details because not all Cagemoris are the same. Scared at the sight of his axe, she reveals that it was the second son, Asuma, who sent her. She claims that she was instructed to simply tail Yuru and Dara without harming them, and that she never expected to be dragged into this terrifying demon mess. Dara determines the granny to not be a threat and requests her to help as she must at least be a demon wielder. However, Granny points out that she and the other spies left their demons behind because right and left would have easily detected them while they were being followed. Dara yells at her for being useless, which is when she suggests they just leave Longlegs and Longarms behind in this realm, just as the Tataras have trapped other spies. Dara guesses that this plan won't work since the demons and their master probably know how to get in and out on their own. Yuru then suggests that he hunt down the master, who is probably somewhere close by as demons prioritize protecting their master. Dara considers this idea, especially because Longlegs and Longarms don't seem to be paying attention to Yuru. So they finally decide to split up, with Dara continuing to pose as right and left's master as Yuru, and the granny look for the unknown demon master. The granny trembles in fear at first, but she quickly toughens up and reveals several concealed knives, saying that she is only helping so that they can leave in time for her to cook dinner for her husband. Dara attempts to sneak into the house's armory from behind, but Longarm spots him and destroys the wall next to him with a swing. Dara barely gets away from the relentless attacks, and thankfully, Right arrives and stomps on the arm right on time. Longarms immediately grabs Right by his legs and spins him around to launch him into the air. Dara is amazed at how long the demon's arms can go, and is relieved to see that the demon's attacks made the armory easily accessible. While Longarms holds defenseless right up in the air, the twin demons begin planning how they should kill everyone. Longlegs suggests that they kill his master first, because it would be more satisfying to kill right and left after they have been robbed of their master. Longarms likes the idea, but before they can continue, a giant bullet pierces through Longlegs' eye. The demons freeze in shock as they have no idea what hit them. Dara, who has camouflaged himself on the ground far away, takes aim with his sniper rifle again. Thinking that he has the advantage since these demons who were trapped in a mountain for thousands of years have no clue about modern technology. He shoots again, and this time blows a chunk out of Longarm's leg and Longlegs' second eye. The back-to-back hits cause Longlegs and Longarms to lose their grip on left and right, who immediately drag the weakened demons and throw them at each other. However, the demons soon recover enough to stack on top of each other and attack as a unit. With the higher vantage point, Longarms immediately spots the granny hiding in the nearby bushes and grabs her. He then offers her to Longlegs as a snack to help him heal. As the granny is brought closer and closer to the demon's mouth, she wets her pants and snitches that Yuru is the twin who is destined to get the power of Seal. This successfully stops the demons in their tracks for a moment as they decide what to do. The granny hopes that they will go after Yuru instead, and as soon as they loosen their grip, she will cut the tendons in Longarm's arms. But things don't go according to her plan because the demons determine they still need to eat to heal themselves before doing anything and start slowly crushing her head. At that moment, a flying axe hits the demon's arm, causing him to drop the granny, who is picked up by Right before she hits the ground. The demons turn toward the attacker, who turns out to be Yuru. He tells them to leave the woman alone and go after him since he is the prophesied twin and true master of right and left. Longlegs and Longarms are stumped over what to do since Yuru does not have the power of the seal yet, and if they kill him, he will simply revive with the power, and they could be sealed somewhere for another 1,000 years. Longarms wonders if they can kill him immediately after he revives, but Longlegs points out that Right and Left would never let that happen. Surprisingly, Yuru then tells Right and Left not to interfere until he tells them to. Longlegs and Longarms don't complain and immediately begin their attack. Yuru successfully dodges all their punches while Right and Left stand motionless, reassuring the demons that they only have to focus on Yuru. As they chase after him, Yuru wonders how Longlegs can run so fast without any eyes. They reveal that it doesn't really matter because they are like two pieces in a puzzle, and that they are at their strongest when they are together in their current true form. Longlegs stomps on the rocks in their path, and Longlegs throws them at Yuru, who barely gets away. Dara, who has been trying to take aim from afar, struggles to make a shot as the demons are moving too quickly. Before he can do anything, The demons throw a skull at him, making it clear that he can't surprise them with an attack anymore. They promise to come after Dara after killing Yuru. Meanwhile, Yuru continues skirting around all the obstacles that the demons throw at him and then hides in the back of the Tadara house. The demons lose sight of him for a moment, allowing him to change course. But it doesn't last for long as the demons spot him and crush him with an uprooted tree. Seeing Yuru lay still on the ground, the demons start scheming over what to do. They think about cutting his tongue out so he can't ask for right and left's help while they kill him. But as they are laughing, Yuru opens his eyes and the demons are filled with overwhelming fear. While Yuru raises his arm in the air and forms a fist, the demons suspect that he already has the power of the seal and that he was simply hiding it to wait for the perfect opportunity to win. As the demons' thoughts start racing, Yuru points out that he successfully tricked them for a second, and that this second was enough for right and left to get an opening. He then orders right and left to do as they wish, who are already right behind the demons. Before they can react, right and left use their true forms to split Longlegs and Longarms. After that, the fight becomes one-sided with right ensuring the demons don't reunite, while left swiftly defeats Longarms in an underwater fight and Dara fires a bullet to behead Longlegs. Both the demons ultimately disintegrate into fine mist, leaving behind only their relics. Left looks at the relics and says that they still possess a lot of power, and that the demons could have been gods if they used their powers for good. Right pats Yuru on the back and commends him for pulling off the bluff. Yuru nods and shares that he remembered Ase unleashed her break power by first closing and then opening her first, so he figured that it would be the opposite for him. All of them are impressed by his clever thinking and start praising him for defeating the demons without special powers. The moment is interrupted by Left, who suddenly crushes a butterfly in her hand, after which she claims that it is actually the demon they had been detecting ever since they left the Kagemori clan. Since its presence was so weak, they couldn't pinpoint it until now. Dara realizes that the Kagemoris probably sent the human tails to be decoys, while the butterfly demon was the true spy. The granny recognizes the butterfly to be a part of the second Kagemori son, assumes demon, and warns that killing it would not have harmed the true demon at all. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.